Well, now that we're warmed up, we should really get going, shouldn't we? 3, 2, 1, go! Sorry. This is fine. I just forgot to mute myself when I was shutting doors and stuff. That's okay. Hello. Hi. How you doing? What's up? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everything. Hello, Charlotte. Hi, Uni. Hi, Tate. Hi, Clipsy. And I think Shadow is still here too, right? Hi, guys. So, what's up? How you doing? I'm gonna be doing, my rigging today, but I'm gonna be, like, starting out. It's not gonna be a lot of actual rigging today. It's mostly just gonna be, like, setup, showing people, I'm not eating things today. Not eating random things today. Leave me alone. I do still have taffy on my desk. So I'm mostly gonna be setting up. I'm gonna be setting up deformers. I'm going to be, working with meshes, setting up my, sorry, my texture atlas, which is like a big, it's just like all of my body parts on one big, like, horrific picture. It's kind of terrifying when you think about it like that, but it's okay, it's okay. I'm ready to watch and possibly learn. Yes. Heck yeah. I mean, hopefully I can help anybody out who's just like starting out rigging. I am not a pro rigger, but I have compiled quite a bit of information from like a million different sources so that I could rig this model in the first place and like actually have a working VTuber model of my own. So maybe I can help some people out today. I'm here to describe some little YouTubers who deserve it. You are one of them, you beautiful woman or man. Thank you! Thank you so much. Yeah. Beautiful woman or man. That's great, I love that. No. Thank you. So yeah, it's mostly gonna be set up. There's not gonna be a lot of like moving parts or anything today. I want to keep all of the streams that I do with my model making to kind of like specific topics, so that if anybody needs help with like a specific thing, they can go back over my streams and see if I did what they needed to do, or if I had any issues that they had and how I fixed them. Keep being awesome and keep doing it. Thank you so much. Today's my last day of school. It is? Oh, Sophia. Oh, I hope you have a good day today. I hope you have a good day at school. Wait, are you gonna ditch again? Don't go to school. Alright. So, oh, and also, today I have some different music. Let me know if it's too low or too high or anything like that. Right now it's just not playing at all. It's going between songs. But Lo-Fi Girl actually just announced like last night that all of their music on their YouTube channel is free for any YouTubers or live streamers on Twitch or YouTube to use for like anything. As long as you put credit in the description, you are good. You can use any of it. So I have the Lo-Fi Girl Beats to Study and Relax to radio playing in the background. Sorry, but I have to move on to the next person. I hope you make it in life, you beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Crystal Plays. Thank you, thank you. I'm not dating Gandalf. I'm not dating Gandalf, man. Good luck on your adventure through small YouTubers. Emily, how's your day? It's doing good. I'm doing good today. I'm doing really good. I'm excited to finally move on to the rigging stage of my art because, oh my gosh, the art part is just so stressful for me. All right, so now that I have explained a little bit of what I'm going to be doing today, let's move on to the actual process. So swap, wash, wee. Pop in a little bit at the end. All right, I'm a little bit off to the side today, but I want you to be able to see everything on the screen for the most part, except for like whatever's under the chat, but I will move the chat if I really need to show you something. We're starting out in Paint Tool Sci 2 today. This is my main art program. This is what I use to like draw my model and stuff, but I want to show you how I have all of the layers set up for everything so that we can kind of get a better idea of like what we're looking at. I have my hand on me today because I want to be able to point at things for all you guys. So hopefully that'll help out with any sort of like, if you're like confused about what I'm talking about. I haven't watched a stream in ages. That looks freaking cute. Ah, thank you. Also, hello VPI. I am doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm happy today. I'm excited. I love rigging. Rigging is actually my favorite part of this whole process, honestly. What's the layer count at now? Oh, a lot. I'll tell you that much. A lot. Honestly, this is a very basic model right now. I haven't actually put the expressions in yet. So
I am here.
Hello, Skippity. So I haven't put the expressions in yet. That's going to come later. I want to make sure that I do that kind of like half on screen so that people can see how I set up the layers for the emotions and then move into actually rigging them. The emotions themselves aren't that hard to do. So I want to do it all like in one main stream for that. But this is like the basic model. Everything that you would need to like move around and blink and stuff like that, right? All right, let me just I'm gonna move my streaming screen out of the way so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Open up my Paint Tool Sci in front of me. All right, so basic, you make my best art look like stick figures. My poor monsters have been reduced to lines. All right, it's not basic in terms of how much effort I put in. I definitely put in way too much effort into this thing, but basic in terms of like, not any emotions, no like arm movements, no like lifting your arm up or waving or anything like that. It's just, you can just move with this one. So, hello Alexis, hi, how you doing today? What's up? So let's start out with, I'm going to just like show you the visibility of these different layers so you can kind of see how I've like separated things out into different parts. Hi Sarah, hello. So, first of all, head front. This is gonna get real cursed real quick, let me tell you that much. So this is the front part of my head. It includes my base head piece, my actual hair pieces in the front, my bangs and stuff. It includes my like hat that I have on. This hat, I actually have another one that's on a different layer somewhere else. And it includes like my my eyes and everything like that. All right? So that's the first bit. Then we have my upper body. This includes my neck, my collar, my shoulders, and my booba. Which is named the booba layer, let me tell you that much. It is. Then I got the back of my head, which has my ears. It's got the actual like back head piece. It has my ponytail, and it has my other hat, but I haven't shown that off yet. On Sunday, we'll go to the aquarium. To the aquarium! Oh my gosh! Oh, I love the aquarium so much. It's just so, like, nice and relaxing at aquariums, man. Alright, then we have my skirt. That includes my corset and everything. Is your stomach okay after green bean day? I'm fine. I'm okay. I promise. Hi, ADTR. Hello. Alright, so this is my skirt piece. This includes, like, my waist. It includes, my actual, like, skirt itself. I didn't draw my butt, so don't worry about that. Then we have my arms. Obviously, that's just the arms. And my legs. Obviously, just the legs. Right? When you actually look into all of these different layer folders, there's so many things. There are many, many things in here. So many things. It's kind of scary. Let me, actually, this might be a little bit easier if I zoom in like this. So, if I go through everything, we have, my headband is separated into 3 different pieces. It's got the actual, like, bows, and then the headband itself. So that I want the bows to, like, jiggle a little bit, right? Then we've got the front hair pieces. There are a lot of layers from my front hair pieces. So many. There are so many layers in the front of my hair. It's kind of ridiculous. All of these are like this front tiny little bang there, this bang piece over here, like everything is separated out into its own layers. Every piece that you want to actually move around when you're making a Live2d model, you have to separate into its own layer. Alpacas have layers like onions. Yeah. It's a lot. It takes a lot. You don't actually technically have to do this, right? Technically, you can just have like one top bang layer and then maybe you have some face framing so you could do one layer from this and one layer for this. I just want him to wiggle a lot. I want him to wiggle. Wiggle and jiggle. Then we have my face. My face is separated into a lot of pieces. I have... I got both of my brows on their own layers so that I can like raise one brow or lower brows or anything like that whenever I need to. My eyes are separated out into their own layers so that I can like wink if I really want to. Each one of these eye layers is, it's separated out into the actual bottom piece like that. Each one of the lashes, the actual lash line, and then this piece on the side, this like kind of side brow piece. You'll see why when I get to eyes, oh my god. And then we have the actual like shading for the sclera and the sclera itself. And the whole iris is in its own folder. I have the sparkles, the pupil, because I have seen some fun things happening recently with making eyes in Live2d and I want to try them out. And we have the iris itself. Whew. Lot of eye layers. Llamas alliterate with layers. I hate you. No. I don't know, I would think, I don't know, I would think we compare alpaca to cakes. Because cakes have layers. Alpacas and cakes. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, this is gonna get real cursed real quick. My mouth. It actually has, it's got 2 lines because I wanted to have a top and bottom. So it just has 2 of the same shape of line here for the smile. Oh yeah, the mouth. Oh, here it comes. I have my bottom lip and my top lip. Those are their own things. And then we've got clipped into my mouth layer. We have my lower teeth, my upper teeth, and my tongue. Then we've got the actual mouth shape itself. And of course my nose is also on this piece. Millipog part 2, yeah. It's just a little bit cursed. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. So that's my face. That is my face. I can actually turn off my entire face if I feel like it. I can become no face. Look at me. Closing my face up, I have my head pieces. I have separated out my head into each side of the line art for it, because I've also seen some fun things happening with that recently. And then I have each of the shading layers for my hair clipped into the face. And I have the blush, my basic blush, clipped into the face. And the main head color, Slender Paka. Those are my head pieces. My upper body includes... Mostly, it includes my bows up here. Ignore underneath my bows. It's kind of like gross down there, but it's fine, don't worry about it. It includes my neck, which actually has like shading and stuff in there. And it includes my top and booba area. Got my shoulders. These line art pieces for my shoulders are separate because I want to be able to shrink and elongate them when I raise my arms up and down. My neck itself has shading separated out and clipped into the neck because I want to be able to move that when I move my head up and down. It's got shading for the hair behind my neck because, you know, there would be a little bit. The actual color of the line art pieces, the collar. So many layers, but later you can edit it easily when you need it. Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's a lot of pieces, but it's worth it. And then of course we have the booba. This has my strawberry piece, my bow piece, and my booba piece. Actually, I need to add a shadow underneath the bow still, so pretend that there's a shadow underneath the bow too. The back of my head, if I turn off the front of my head so we can look at it better, the back of my head has my actual base head, and it's got the back of my hair, which has a lot of different layers on here too. Each one of the like little each one of the little pieces hanging off of my ponytail, I want to wiggle a little bit. And I want the whole thing to sway, so that's all separated out. The ears are each separated out into the actual tufts, the ear inner pieces, and then the ear outer pieces. That's a real nice shadow underneath the bow. I know, isn't it? It's so beautiful. Thank you. And then I have a head bow piece, which is supposed to go like kind of behind the head. So that's why that's in this layer. Like so. Sorry. Like that. Without a face, you just look like a mushroom. True. Very true. So that's the back of my head. If I turn back on the front of my head, we can move down to my skirt. My skirt has obviously a lot of layers, just like everything else. It has each one of these marshmallows are on their own layers with shading and stuff because I want them to jiggle slightly when I move. You're like never gonna see this stuff. I don't know why I want to put so much effort into like the lower body, but I really want to. Each one of these marshmallows is gonna jiggle independently. I have the bows, which are gonna wiggle a little bit independently. The apron top, which I just want to have separately so that I can like move it and make sure that it's covering most of the apron if I need it to like hide anything. The apron itself, which will jiggle back and forth. The shading for the apron top, just in case I need to move that. And the shading for the booba, because obviously those are gonna move like so. We have the corset on its own layer. The shading for the apron on its own layer. The top of the skirt, the front thing, and then each of the little ruffle layers, so I can make them move. The shading for the bottom, and the frill. Lots of layers down there. So many. So many in the skirt. We have the arms, which aren't actually separated into that many pieces. They have the actual like lower pieces and upper pieces. Wait, let me do the left arm. So yeah, they have the lower pieces and the upper pieces, which includes the like shoulder piece up there. And then the hand, I've separated out into two things because I kind of want to like wiggle the fingers just slightly. I have the front of the hand and then the fingies. The fingies. The effort to make it fancy is just fun. I know, right? Can I get an ooh? An ooh? It's like when you spend so much time creating your character's face only for you to put on a helmet. Yeah, basically. That's basically what's going on here. And then finally the legs. The legs are separated out into not nearly as many pieces as most of the rest. There's only 5 pieces per leg. I know that kind of still seems like a lot, but there are the shading pieces, which are going to be clipped onto the leg itself and like moved with the skirt. There are the berries on them because I want them to jiggle slightly. Everything that I want to jiggle is on its own layer. The feet themselves are separated, and the top of the leg and lower leg. The top of the leg includes the knee, or at least the part of the knee. Let me just, there we go. Top of the leg includes the knee, and then there's the lower leg. Alright, so that is what we're working with in terms of layers and how everything kind of looks right now, right? I've separated it out to 6 different folders, so everything is nice and easy for me to get to. So let me just turn on Live2d. So this is what your Live2d window looks like when you first open it up, right? Just like a basic, blank, horrifying, empty space. You have to take your PSD file. You need a PSD file. So any art program that you use will have to export into PSD. But you take your PSD file and you just drag it onto the screen. It will create model data for you, and it'll add it all in. Now it's gonna look weird when you first add it in. Like, what the heck is up with this? What's going on here? Why is everything so weird and purple or whatever? Right? It's a little weird. It's strange. Don't know what to do about it, right? It's... Oh god, everything looks so bad now. Gotta clip everything again. And turn everything into shading again. Look at how the mouth looks right now. Look at this! What is this? Oh... It looks bad. I know. Don't worry, we'll fix it. Millie, hi Yote! Let me just make sure that my redeems are posted for people who want to use them. Let me turn that into a pinned comment for people. Assuming Streamlabs is actually gonna say things for me. Please, Streamlabs, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Streamlabs. Come on, Streamlabs. Come on, Cloudbot. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Thank you, Streamlabs. Alright, pin that. Alright. So, looks complicated, but it's a simple software, maybe. Yeah, it looks really complex when you start out, because you're like, what the heck is up with all of this? What's going on over here? Why are these all in their own, like, oh my god, there's so many things in here. Right? Looks pretty bad. Is this the same outfit you drew like a couple weeks ago? Yeah, this is it. This is the final look right now. This is the same one. Teaching all the scrubs about rigging, let's go. Can't believe you didn't want to shade the booba with everyone watching respectfully. I would... It would not work. Y'all just... You can't be say-so if I'm shading booba. I tried doing booba. I tried it. It didn't work. You brought forth a terrible power. Yeah, it looks good though, right? Alright, so first things first. First things first, before like anything else, you want to make sure that everything has a mesh.
Oh my god!
It's gonna take a long time if you do it all by hand. Like, you could do it all by hand, but I usually just use like the auto feature for most of my meshes, I'll be honest. Can't even treat us to taffy. Please. Alright, so each one of these things that does not have a mesh on it is just gonna look like it has a big red box around it whenever you target it. You have to go through every single thing on here and set it up with a mesh. I usually use the auto tool up here. So I will press auto, I'll do a preset. Usually it depends on how much I plan to move the object around, how much I actually want to like deform it. For like these bows, I might want them, I don't really want them to move a ridiculous amount. So I might just go standard on this deformation. So as you see, that adds in a strange mesh around it. You can't see the pop-up that I have, by the way. I'm so sorry about that. I should probably fix that. I don't know how I would set that up properly. Oh well. I'll fix it next time, I swear. I promise I'll fix it for the next stream that I do, because I really want the pop-ups to show too. There is a pop-up that has an auto mesh generator. You have presets that are standard, little, or heavy deformation. So this is the standard one. This is little, which has like less of these little points, and this is heavy, which has a lot more of these little points. I'm just gonna go standard. Like that. Ta-da! Yonder a voice. I can be say-so if you ask. I could be anything if you ask. I could be everyone for you. Ah-ha-ha! Ah-ha-ha-ha! Yes! Thank you, Sophia. Alright, so every single thing I have to do this for, so I'm just gonna be here for a while doing auto and like picking whatever deformation I wanted to have. So how y'all doing today? What's up? Probably don't want to deform that too much. I'll do standard on that one too. Each one of these. On the hair, I want to deform them more, so I'm gonna go heavy. Because I want them to wiggle back and forth, right? This is just... It's just a lot. It's just so many layers. I didn't notice the eyeliner. It's not eyeliner. That is the shading for the inside of the eye. I just have to clip everything together still. So like, as you can see, there's stuff like this hanging out. And like down here and stuff. Nah, I'm gonna clip that in. Don't worry about it. I don't actually have anything that's on my face as makeup. Well, except there's a tiny shine.
I want to hear
on my
your
lip.
auras.
I like your sleeping on stomach drawing on Twitter. Sleeping on stomach. Sleeping on stomach. Oh, yeah, that thing. No, that's me being dead. That's fine. Alright. Let me auto heavy on that piece. Auto heavy on this piece. Yeah, this all takes a long time to set up. When you're doing your actual model making, as you can see, there's like pieces going behind this piece of hair. You're gonna want to like set up every single bit of the hair that you might possibly see when you're rigging. So like if I make that swing out a lot, you're gonna see more of this hair piece. Gotta draw everything that you might see. Every piece. You can't just draw the front. I love the model. I'm glad, Sophia. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. Alright, heavy on that. So yeah, this is gonna be a pretty chill stream where I'm just like going through and doing every piece of the setup process kind of live, so people can see how I actually go through setting everything up for the first time. I do have the pro version of Live2d, so if you are working with the free version, I don't actually know as much about the free version, so that's worth considering. I have like a piece up here to cover my bald spot that I have. Don't worry about it. It's fine. My brows, I also want to be heavy deformation. And I might fix some of these points later on, if I feel like I need it. Hello, Skippity. How you doing? Each one of the eye pieces I want heavy deformation on. All of the lashes I want heavy deformation on. Basically, all of the face pieces I'm gonna want heavy deformation because I want to move them all a lot. Auto heavy. Yep. Hi Pastry, how you doing? So anyway, it's a long process to actually get your model rigged, but I think it's the more fun of the things to do. I actually like all the tediousness, which sounds weird, because usually people would be like, alright, I like the art part of this. No, I like the tedious stuff where I move everything around. The model is kawaii dekora. I know, it's so cute! I'm so happy with it. So happy how it came out. Makes me so... It makes me so excited to use it, honestly. Can't wait to become a cute maid girl. A kawaii maid girl, ooh. Ah. Holy whoa, I just looked to the left, that looks intense. Yep! Yeah, you can't see the pop-up window that I'm using, unfortunately. I did not think about actually, I didn't think about actually making sure that you could see the pop-ups. I'm gonna try and make sure that you can see them next time. Millie likes tedious chores plus 2 waifu points. Yeah, totally! Oh, I don't like tedious chores, but I do like this weirdly. Look how weird that looks, by the way. Also, you can select all of all of the pieces. Look how creepy this is when you have all the dots there. Oh no, where was I? Right. Eyeshine pupil. Okay, this one. So yeah, just going through and doing all of the actual mesh generation. I'm just using the auto tool, so not that intensive right now. I think it's seeing a simple image moving around after making it yourself makes it so much fun. My mindset made my dumb bulb think I was an animator. I know, right? It feels like, oh my gosh, I'm an animating pro. Look at this. I can move side to side. Look at me go. I'm doing heavy on the mouthpieces. I'm probably gonna have to change some of the auto mesh generation on the mouthpieces later on. I'm going to wait until I get to the mouth to really try and set that up, but we'll see. Bottom lip, top lip. What did I miss? You missed me making a lot of dots on my model, and that's pretty much it. Like right now I'm just doing the mesh generation. You have to do every single piece that you have created, you have to make a mesh for it, so that the program kind of knows how things are supposed to move. And yes, as a beginner, I'm just kind of doing auto mesh stuff right now. Well, semi-beginner, I guess. That's the line for my face. Here's the other line for my face. That's cursed. Yeah, there's some things that are cursed about this right now, but it will get better. I swear, it will look better near the end. The top face shading. Why does that go out that direction a little? Oh, whatever, that's fine. It's gonna be clipped anyway. The blush pieces. Cute. The dots are scary. They are scary. Just wait. It gets worse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Heavy. There we go. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Auto on the strawberry. Gonna do heavy on that too. This piece, I probably don't want to actually move that much. I just want to like move it back and forth kind of. I'll do heavy anyway. I'll do heavy just in case. Dem points, magic! Yeah, there's a pop-up window that I can't actually show you, unfortunately. That just pops up and goes, hey, what kind of deformation do you want on this? I didn't think about it at the time. Heavy on neck shading. The neck color, I want... I'll do standard. The neck isn't really gonna change size or anything that much. It's just gonna move mostly back and forth. Same with this. I'll just do standard on the shading pieces for that, because it's probably just gonna move back and forth. This piece needs heavy. This piece needs heavy. We got the booba berry. That needs heavy, of course. Of course. The bow needs to be heavy, and the booba needs to be heavy. That looks really nice. Look at how nice that looks. Weirdly. Look at that nice, like, pretty looking grid. Alright, the back of the head. I actually don't want to move that too much. I'm just gonna go standard on it. The bow, I'm gonna turn that on so I can see it. I definitely want this one to be heavy deformation. And then I'll hide that one again. But it is the made model as soon as I finish it. As soon as I finish it, for sure. Hi Roberta! Hey, what's up? I'm just doing mesh creation. Basically, I just use the auto tool and then I hit a little button that says auto-generate this for me. I wish I had the pop-up showing. Dang it! Dang it! I gotta think this stuff through a little better. New teacher. You can tell. Oh well. But yeah, it's just a lot of point making. After you're done doing all the mesh generation is when you can actually start moving stuff around technically, but I like to make my deformation stuff first. I'm gonna do Metopia but use player me's. Player me's? I like making my own though. I don't know if I would really use other people's me's as much as I would use mine. Because I really like making stuff. Is auto-generated easier? It is faster, but it can have like inconsistencies. So like when I zoom in on this mesh, you can kind of see that it's a little bit oddly shaped in some points. A lot of the time, auto-generated is like decent enough, but there might be some changes that you have to make to it to make it like perfect. It's faster, but not necessarily better. Okay, stop that, please. Auto heavy. No? Can you not like get rid of that though? There we go. The marshmallows down here. These ones I want some heavy deformation on, I think, because I want them to jiggle slightly. Yeah. They work. They work pretty well, the auto deformations. I used auto for a lot of my beginning stuff. I did redo some of the mouth meshing, and I think some of the eye meshing, but most of my stuff was just auto-generated. I also like to divide meshes and make them like divided by 4 so they add even more points in there for auto-generated stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that yet. I will let you use my Brian me, but I have re-downloaded Metopia demo because I need to get my data back before I go back in. Oh, does your data? Well, I guess it would save. It's saved on the system, right? I was like, is it actually still there? I think it probably is though. Probably good. So just a nice chill time going through making meshes for all of this stuff. This one I kind of want heavy deformation on because I want it to wiggle. The shading I don't need. I could just do standard on that. And same as with the booba shading, I just do standard. I hate re-download game and demos. Yeah. It would be nice if they just used the data on your system instead of actually needing the demo there. That'd be really nice. And yet, no. Heavy deformation on that piece. Alright. Most of the skirt pieces I don't actually need heavy deformation on. I'm just gonna do standard. Because I'm gonna want them to wiggle a bit back and forth, but it's not gonna be like a huge amount of movement. I'm just doing standard on all of this. Standard. The actual end piece of the skirt. Uh-oh. Nope. Stop that, please. Standard. There we go. The front of the hands, I do actually want this to be heavy deformation. Because I kind of want to see if I can, like, flex the fingies a little bit. Flex the fingies. My upper arm does not need to have that much deformation. I'm just gonna go standard. Same with my lower arm. Fingies, we go heavy. Heavy. Flex tape. So would it be safe in assuming that the more deformation, the more the item will move? Yeah. So each one of these points is like, here, let me just do this. So every one of these points that you have is another point that like could move and that you could like mess around with and try to make it like perfectly wiggle however you want it to, right? Upper arm on this side. Auto, standard on that. Yeah, anything that you want to have a lot of, like, say on my hair bows, like on me right now, they actually have heavy deformation, so that they can, like, have really precise movements when I wiggle back and forth like that. Same with a lot of my hair pieces, though I didn't really make those very well. And my earpieces. So I get that nice wiggle. But yeah. Alright. Auto standard on this. The feet don't need to move much. They're gonna be down here anyways. Just standard. These berry pieces, I'm gonna just go standard on because it's mostly just them moving back and forth. Same with the shade pieces on the legs and the top of the legs and bottom. Woo. So you want a lot of deformation up near your face. You definitely want a ton on your mouth and eye pieces because you're gonna be moving those like a minuscule amount sometimes. So you can get them just right. Standard. 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 I'm almost done. Just 2 more pieces. Standard and standard. So, oops. Uh-oh. Did I do that right? Yes, okay. So, just a randomest question that does fit in the design theme. If you were not an alpaca VTuber, what other concept would seem interesting to you? A cow. I would be a cow. Cows are like my second favorite animal. Yeah. Whenever you want like something to like, you want to have the tiniest movements possible. Like if I want to move my lips around, I'm probably going to even want more points than this when I move my lips around. I would show you the model that I have currently in Live2d and show you how much deformation I had on each of the pieces, but I actually don't have the main rigging file for this model on this computer right now. So I can't. I only have the export. Just don't do like some people and make supersonic bouncing booba. Well, I have slight bouncing booba. My current amount of bounce is probably going to be the same amount of bounce as I go for. So it's just like a slight bit, you know? I don't want it to be unrealistic. I have seen the like ridiculous jiggling up and down and like left and right boobas and I'm like, no thanks. Milky Moo waffles. God. Man. I complete my Miitopia demo, but my last birthday, when I was turning 10, I got $80, but I have to wait because someone is buying the game Miitopia for Nintendo Switch. Copy this message. Where'd you copy it from? Oh, did you already post it? You did already post it. I'm sorry. At least you'd be able to keep the farm theme. Yeah, I would be like, maybe like a chocolate cow or something. Or like, probably a strawberry cow. Like a strawberry milk cow. That's probably what I would be. But we're here and I'm an alpaca. Alright, so these are, all of the meshes on this stuff are now pre-generated. So if I just do this, ready for a horror show? This is me. This is my true form. Don't you like it? Aren't I beautiful? Look at me. Look at my form. Look at me. Ah, the bugs! The bugs are everywhere. Please help. Yeah, it looks like those magnet balls. Yeah, it kind of does. Look, you can even see where all the marshmallows are because they have heavier deformation than the rest of the skirt. Or the hands. You can see the hands super well. Hellraiser's pinhead. Nothing on you. I know, right? Yeah, the dots are gross. My Miitopia demo data, I did the demo and the hero is Brian and I said him kind warrior. Ah, cute! So cute. Alright, okay. So now that I have all of these meshes set up, I'm actually gonna go through and clip things. Because I think it would be easier for me to do that now instead of later. So I'm gonna start with the shading on the booba. I want the blend mode on this to be multiply. There's a pop-up that comes up. I just press OK. I just go, yeah, sure. Why not? So I want the blending mode to be multiply. I want to click on the actual thing I want to clip into. And I want to get this ID right here. My pen is a little bit higher than where I'm actually pointing, but that's fine. So I want to get the ID for it and copy it. Then I want to go back to the shade layer, go to the clipping ID section, and paste it, and hit enter. It has something else that pops up, I just press OK. And now that is actually clipped to that piece, so I don't have to worry about it going outside of the lines. Yeah. Yeah. That's a little bit too dark for me, so I'm gonna lower the opacity to like, I don't know, 70% maybe? That might still be a little too dark for me. Go a little bit lighter. Go for like, what's 50% look like? 50% is okay. I'll probably go 50%. I put Brian eyes look dangerous because of the sword. Alright, so blend mode. I'm gonna go multiply on this piece too. I still have the same clipping ID, so I'm just gonna paste it in here and hit enter. And then on this too, I'm gonna lower the opacity. I think this one I want to be like 70. Yeah, 70 looks good, I think. So yeah, this is basically how I go through and deal with, if I had, let me hide Live2d for a second and look back at this. So say on this, I had layers, like on the skirt shading, we'll say. The actual shading on the apron is a clipped layer into the skirt, and it's a shade layer at 40% opacity. So this is just how I deal with things that I've made like that. If there's anything like that in my actual model. Alright, back to Live2d. Actually, when did this get bigger? Maybe that's part of my problem. It got bigger on me randomly. Is that the same size as it was? No, it's a little bit smaller still. There we go. I think at some point I randomly made my Live2d window bigger. Anyways. Yeah, now my pen is following my cursor a little better. Alright, apron layer. I want to clip into the top skirt. So I'm gonna grab the top skirt ID. And go into the apron piece. Hit the clipping ID in there and hit enter. So that's clipped. I don't have to worry about it like going over the arms or anything weird like that. Then I want it to be a shade. So I go multiply. And then I lower the opacity. I'm gonna lower it to like 50%? It was at 40% in the original, but it also was an actual shade layer. 40% seems good. Seems fine. Alright. So up here, we have quite a few pieces that need to be clipped. There's this one, which is the neck head shade layer. That should be clipped into the neck. I grab the ID and then put that into the clipping ID box, hit enter. That's clipped into the neck now. Want it to become a multiply layer. And I want the opacity lowered to like 60%. Also, I see that my head line over there seems to be missing which is upsetting, to say the least. Can I auto this? There it goes. It's back again. Little heavy. There we go. 40%, that should be fine. Me at school, lol. The zoom a couple minutes ago plus the size of my TV made a realistically sized Millie. Did it really? Oh my gosh, your TV must be huge. Dang. Jeez. Sheesh. Got the big TV. Alright, I want my head color layer because I'm going to clip all of the shading pieces for my hair. Like all the pieces under here and my blush pieces. These are actually the right opacity and stuff for me, so I'm just gonna clip them and like move on to the next piece. Clip, enter. You always have to press enter afterwards or else it won't save it. Clip, enter. That should be good on those. Have you heard of Mr. Hop Playhouse 1 and 2? No, I haven't. Is it like a bunny playhouse game? Oh, that sounds cute. That sounds so cute. Sheesh. Sheesh, boy. Alright, let's get rid of this weird thing that's going on with my eyes, right? I want this to be clipped into the Solera layer because it's basically my, it is my, eye shading. So grab that, clip that in there like that. Ta-da! Now you can see there's a tiny bit in there, but it's not anything nearly as, ridiculous. ID for this. Oh, undo that. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I accidentally paste instead of copying. Copy. Paste. Enter. There we go. That's better. Now I need to work on this horrifying thing that's happening with my teeth and my tongue. I actually need to be able to get to my mouth layer though, so I'm gonna hide that. Grab my mouth hole layer, that's what I named it, cool. Thanks, past me. And then add that to the clipping ID. And add my teeth to the clipping ID. I'm also gonna want my upper teeth added in there. So hide that. Grab my upper teeth. Clip. My mouth hole. Complete at last. Let me put my lips back on. Cool. So that looks less cursed. Next, my neck hair shade piece I want to be clipped onto the ponytail. So this one will be a little bit weird. I have multiple ponytail pieces here, right? I have multiple ponytail pieces. I need the shading to be able to go over each of the pieces, like as my hair swings left and right. So I'm actually gonna grab the IDs for all 3 of those and put them in, like with commas separating them. So when I go into the clipping ID, I hit that. Now it's clipped into one piece, but I need it clipped into others too. Actually, I'm not gonna do that one first. I'm gonna do the main ponytail one first. Ponytail base, shading, clipping ID, hit enter. Alright. And then I need Art Mesh 38 is what that one's called. Comma. Art Mesh 38. Oh. Can I just do this? I cannot. Wait. Oh, I'm putting it in the ID. Haha, whoops. Comma. That. There we go. That's better. Whoopsie. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. Alright, and then clipping ID, comma, that. There we are. So now when I move this back and forth, it's still clipped into those pieces, but as soon as it goes beyond it, it just kind of disappears. So yeah, nice-oo. Alright, I gotta prep for stream later. Have a good one. I dare say this stream is being rigged. Ooh woo. Bye-bye. Alright, see you later, VPI. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good stream. Ooh woo. That scared me for a sec. Yeah. I was like, Look it up. Mr. Hop Playhouse 1 and 2 is scary because Mr. Hop the bunny come to life and oh, I'm not playing a horror game. No, never, never. All right. Next I need the leg shading layers. I know you can't really see them right now, but like if I move them down, you could see them like much clearer. I need these to be clipped into the top leg piece. Grab the ID. Go into the leg shake, clipping ID, paste, enter. And same with this, grab the ID of this leg, clipping ID, enter. So, I didn't say I would play RE7, I said I would put a poll out to see what horror game somebody would want me to play because I don't own RE7. I don't own any horror games, so we'll have to see. Alright, that is the shading layer. I want this layer here, the shading layer on here, the little purple line, I want to be added on to the skirt end piece. Shading, clipping ID, paste. This one I do kind of want to make multiply, and I'm gonna lower the opacity a little. Make it like 70%. Yeah, that seems good. I think that is every piece clipped into place properly. I say go big or go home and make her play Alien Isolation. Oh my god. Oh, please. Please. Have mercy. Have mercy on a poor alpaca soul. Ugh. Oh. I'm gonna be in like this form when I play it too. New model looks epic. Thank you, Funs! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be this thing. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for everything right now. Ugh. Mercy, what's that, Millie? Ugh. Please. Alright, everything should be clipped into place how I want it to be. Oh, everything except the eyepieces. I also want the eyepieces to be clipped into the sclera. So, I'm gonna grab the sclera IDs. Because otherwise the eyes would, like, the iris would move past the actual eye. And it would be weird. It would be very weird. So, clipping ID that. The pupil. Clipping ID that. There. And then clipping ID the shade. There we go. That is a lot of dots. Oh yeah. There's a lot of dots in this baby. In this puppy. So now when I move the pupils left and right, they only go as far as, or like maybe not the pupils. Let me move the iris. When I move the iris left and right, it only goes as far as the actual sclera goes. So it's kind of like a limit, a border for it. Whenever I move my eyes like left and right and stuff, or like up and down. Okay. Grab this sclera ID. Did I copy that or did I paste that? Oh dear. I think I copied it. I think I copied it. Copy. Iris. Clipping ID. Enter. Pupil. Clipping ID. Enter. And then the eye shine. Clipping ID. Enter. Cool, cool, cool. Do you use Blender at all? I played with Blender a little bit when I was trying to make myself a Vroid model and like make a tail that like actually was attached to my butt instead of my head. Didn't work as well as I wanted it to. I'm still practicing with anything 3D. This is mildly cursed. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen anything yet, Skippy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Yeah, Blender is hard. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good Blender tutorials though, so. Another thing about models that is interesting, you don't want to have the canvas size be too small. So like, as you see here, the canvas is quite a bit bigger than my actual model is. That's because I want my arms to be able to like move outwards. Like I want to be able to go, all right, I want my, maybe not like that. I want to be able to go, I want my arm to move this way or something. I want to be able to lift my arms up if I want them to. I want them to have enough space to be able to raise up. Otherwise, when it goes past the actual canvas, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be the end of the animation. Anti-Millie. Yeah, this is the Anti-Millie. Look at me. Aren't I great? Alright, I'm gonna save what I have right now. I'm gonna save this as... Yep, that's fine. In my desktop folder. I'm making myself a new folder for it so that I know where it's at. And save. She can shimmy? She will maybe be able to shimmy. She will maybe be able to shimmy. Yeah, that was the thing with this model, with the one that I have right now. Actually, let me move my tablet piece out of the way. Oh, sorry, I made myself smaller. Let me move my tablet piece out of the way. Move that. And let me make myself a little bit smaller so that you can look at me a little easier. When I made this model, I didn't make the canvas size big enough. So this is actually as far out as I can move my arms because that's about the end of my canvas. That was as far as I could actually make my arms go up. So that was it. That was the best I could do at the time. Still cute, but not as cute as it could have been. Same with my legs too. I mean, I didn't really figure out how to make them go up farther than this, but I can only do a tiny steppy. Only small steppy. There we go. And then I will turn back on my tablet. Move myself over a little bit again. I don't want to be in the way of anything. I want you to see everything on screen. Alright, so... actually, move myself here, but I actually have to move the tablet about there, so it'll actually cover my arm when I lift it a little more. Alrighty, so back to Cubism. And I have to open back up my chat because it was hidden a little bit. Steve, I should just make you a mod at this point. I should just make you a mod at this point, honestly. I want to see her play a horror game. I'm gonna play a horror game as soon as I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. I'm gonna do a poll to figure out which horror game to play on Twitter, and then I'll do it. Then I'll do it soon. Eventually. My cat just came in the room. She's like jumping around and stuff. New shimmy model to complete with Millipaka. Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna make a new Millipaka model too. Really forgot to tell you, I started using the DaVinci program for editing a vid. Do you like it? I really like DaVinci Resolve. It's pretty good. Alright, so we have most of our setup of different layers and clipping completed. Will it be an appropriate horror game for kids? Ooh woo. Yes, I'm going to try and make it an appropriate game for kids because this is a PG-13 channel, so I can't show like too much weird stuff, you know? Gotta make it appropriate. I know like FNAF is pretty appropriate for kids, technically. It's spooky as heck, but it's not like bad for kids, it's just scary. So spooky. I do like it. So far it's pretty good. I'm learning as I go though. PG-15 at this point. No, it's not. No, it's not. PG-13 is still pretty, PG-13 still has a lot of leeway. Like, you can technically curse in PG-13. It's just supposed to be, like, monitored. Parents are supposed to, like, be able to look at it and go, do I want my kids to watch this? I don't know. Will you play other horror games in the future, or is it a one-time thing? Currently, it's a one-time thing. We'll talk about maybe more later. Currently, it's like a celebration thing. Have you seen your murders? Shh. Millie, howdy. Hi, Armando. All right, cat. You don't have to be that loud. Jeez. She like fell off of the table in here. Okay, so next thing that I have to do is make deformers for all of these. So all of this stuff right now is just in like this big pile of different layers. And it would be really hard to manage like this. It would be so hard to manage, right? What about Mr. Hot Playhouse? Not scary. Mr. Hot Playhouse wouldn't. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna do polls. I'm gonna do polls. Now I'm gonna play more horror games. Scaredy cat. I am. That's true. Very true. Okay, so I want each of these things in here to basically be in a deformer. Each of the pieces that I've got here, I want to like have a group to call its own. So like I want my entire head to be in a deformer. I want my eyes to be in their own deformers. I want my hair pieces to be in their own deformers. Everything that I want to maybe move together at some point in time, I want to be in a deformer. Which is, this is the next biggest part of setup that you have to worry about. So, first things first, I want my entire maid headband to be in a deformer. So I'm gonna hold shift and click all of these pieces to grab all three of them. Then I'm gonna go up top, like looking at these different things up here, right? This is the rotation deformer. So this is what if you want to like turn something. And this is the warp deformer, which is the one that we're actually looking at. This is the rotation creation tool, which is a little, it's like you create a rotation deformer. You can make like lines of rotation deformers technically to do skinning. I've never done skinning before, so I'm probably not going to get into that. But I'm just doing warp deformers first and foremost. So create a warp deformer. This also pops up a pop-up. I'm sorry that I didn't actually think about pop-ups when starting this. But it just has a pop-up that says whatever you want it to be named, what folder you want it to go in up here. It has some parental-based stuff, like what piece you want to be a parent piece for it, but I don't usually worry about that too much. I just give it a name. So this is just gonna be my headband deformer. And then I'm just gonna create. And as you see here, that made a secondary little folder in this deformer part. And it made this green box around my headband. So now when I like want to wiggle it around, I can do this and the whole thing will move. Which is pretty neat. Pretty neat. I'm here, children of alpaca. Hi, Roki. Hello. Ash became a champion though, so Steve can be a mod. Hey, you know what? I don't know. Steve is just a viewer. I don't want to stress him out too much, you know? But I think he could be a good mod. I think he could be, if he ever wanted to be. I'm not gonna force it on him. I'm just saying. He could be a good mod. Hi Millie, how's the rigging doing? I am mostly just doing setup stuff still. But, currently, it looks a little like this. These are each of the meshes for the art that I want to move and wiggle and stuff. Alright. Emphasis on could. He could be! He could be a pretty good mod. I think he could anyway. So anyways, so that is my headband piece. Next I want to do my bangs, which should be... it should be this piece. I'm holding control now to pick different pieces separately. I don't actually want the frames. I just want the top portion of these bangs right now. I just want that. All them wires, scary. I know, right? So many wires. I know. So I'm gonna make a warp deformer for this. Is there an easy way to revert a deformer to its original state, or do you pretty much have to delete one and start over if it's wrong? Alright, so how I end up fixing deformers. Let's say I made this deformer. No, I'm gonna do this on my headband, actually. Let's say I made this deformer, and I set it up so that it's hooked up to its parameter, and I started moving it around and stuff. But I ended up really hating whatever I did on one day. I like pushed it this way and it was like, oh god, why is that so bad? The only way that I've really found to fix this stuff is taking everything out of the deformer, pull it out of there, deleting the deformer, I just gotta cut it, and then I go through, I go up to the like modeling menu up here. I go down to edit shape, and I hit revert to original. You have to do that on every one of the parameter points that you have set up, but it will reset it to its base form, how it is with the mesh. So modeling, edit shape, revert to original. And I'm gonna do it on this bow too, just in case. Edit, modeling, edit shape, revert to original. And then you have to go back through and make a new deformer for it. This might leave some strange, like, extra deformer parameters, like, somewhere in the coding for it, but it's never caused me any problems. Like, I did that a lot on this model. I reverted a lot of shapes, and it all moves perfectly fine. Everything is, like, still nice and intact. So modeling up here, modeling, edit shape, and then revert to original. Make sure that you pull everything out of the deformer before you delete the deformer. Otherwise, it's going to delete all the pieces inside of it too. You gotta make sure that everything is outside of the deformer before you delete it. But yes, that is how I usually fix any problems with deformation that I did from a deformer. Or any deformation that I did without a deformer, honestly. You need a new model, be killing titans. It's alright. We're usually okay right now anyways. Alright, create warp deformer. I want this to be called headband warp, and then create. Good info, thanks. Of course. So that's just how I fix it. I don't know, there might be other ways to fix it too. I just haven't learned any other ways yet. That is just how I, as a newbie, learned to fix stuff. So take all of this, which they add in a right-click revert to original in the software. Yeah, that would be really nice. They did add something really cool in recently. Before, when you wanted to do stuff like mouth shaping, I would usually have gone through on the mesh itself and done like an art path. Is this the art path? Deform art path. No. Maybe? Is it art path? I forget if it's art path or not. I think it is. Mouth line. Yeah. No. Not art path. Deform path. Deform path. So I would have gone through and I would have made point by point along this line, right? A deform path. And then you could like wiggle pieces from there. You could go, oh, bring this up and down. You can actually make deform paths on deformers now. So you don't have to worry about messing up the mesh itself. You can just do it on a deformer, which is really, really nice. It's so nice. Thank you, Live2d. New update! Is that the same as vertices? Which part? Are all of those jiggle bones? Yeah, they are! Look at all my jiggle bones. Hold on, wait. Undo whatever I just did. This. Look at all my jiggle bones. Look at all my jiggle bones. Yeah, when I get into doing mouth and eyes, I'm definitely gonna be working with those paths a lot. Also hair. Mouth, eyes, and hair. Uses a blender to blend things like a smoothie. Totally. Okay. Let me get my hair pieces. Like I said, I hold control for this to get separate pieces instead of like grabbing all of this. And then I just make a warp deformer. I want this to be front bang warp. Don't forget to save your progress. Don't worry, I am. I'm only like 2 steps past when I last saved right now. Alright, and then I want this to be... I actually just want left and right. So I'm gonna hold control to do the right pieces. Make a deformer. Right frame warp. Like faced framing bang, sort of. And then I do control, and then left frame warp. By the way, if anyone is wondering why I'm saying left is on this side and right is on this side, it's based on which way your character is facing. So since she is facing me, technically this is her left side and this is her right side, right? That's how you end up doing most rigging stuff. It's how most artists will set up their layers for you if you're doing a rigger. This is a way better workflow. I made all the deformers and dragged them manually. Oh no. Does doing the lurk command do anything weird I should know about? Nah, it just goes, oh hey, I'm gonna lurk over there. It just posts like a little comment saying, I'm a lurk. I have one question. Does anyone have raccoon figure DIY or can make me raccoon in Animal Crossing? Oh my gosh. Please, Roki. I should make a meme out of Millie character. Oh, there's a lot of people that make memes out of me, let me tell you. There's a lot. Alright, so next I want all of my front hair pieces to be in a deformer together. I want this to be front hair warp. I know you can't see the pop-ups for these things, but don't worry about it. So that is all in its own warp. Next we've got the eyes. The eyes. I'm gonna do the brows separately from the eyes themselves. So I'm gonna just go through and grab all of the eye pieces for the left first. I'm gonna make this the left eye warp. And then, of course, the right eye warp. Right eye warp. Anyone else fancy taking on some Titans? Oh my gosh. Y'all are playing games. You're just like chilling. Really, character design is the new upgrade of Overwatch 2. Learned so much about rigging this month, but the mouth parameters still thwart me. I used Kira Omori's mouth tutorial. If you check out her mouth tutorial, that is the best mouth tutorial I have seen yet. She even has in her description of that video, she has actual pictures that you can use for your mouth parameters. I just used her format for that. She has like, she's got like, it's like a 5x5 grid, I think, for the mouth. It's still a lot, but that's what I used when I made mine. Yeah, her chart is so handy. One big thing for the mouth, by the way, make sure, I didn't do this the first time around. I wasn't thinking about it. Make sure your top teeth don't move with your lips. Your top teeth do not move when you speak. Your top teeth don't wiggle. Look at when I... My top teeth move. That's not how teeth work. That's not how they work at all. They don't move. It's only your lower jaw that actually moves. Need to iterate on it more. My mouth's still looking very polygonal. Yeah, I think I get a little bit of an easier time with it because I am an artist already. So like trying to make things shaped the way I want, I'm already used to it. Alpaca, alpaca, aru yo, aru yo, alpaca, alpaca, aru yo, aru yo. Thanks, Moki. Does the tongue texture move? Yes, your tongue moves a little bit. It usually only moves like left, right. You can probably wiggle it up and down a little, but I don't move it too much. Because usually people aren't really looking at the tongue that much anyways. But it does move like left, right. It technically would be a little bit more elongated if I look to the side instead. Yeah, I didn't move it that much when I made this model. Alright. Love the song TY for making. Arupaka, arupaka. Doesn't that mean your teeth move with saucy intent? Totally. Alright, there's my eyes. My mouth. I want all of my mouthpieces to be one deformer. I'm gonna make multiple deformers inside for like lips and stuff, but we will get there. So just make this mouth deform or mouth warp. Yeah, I'm doing warp, not deformer. Mouth warp. That has all the mouthpieces. Nose. I'm just gonna make nose warp. It's just one piece. That's fine. Nose warp. I guess alpacas have retractable teeth. I will check it out next time at the zoo. I know, right? No, I hadn't even thought about it when I first made my model. Nose. Yeah, look. Woo! What nose? What nose? No nose. No, I didn't even think about it. And then I saw somebody post about it on Twitter. I was like, oh god, I hope nobody's noticed my moving teeth. Man, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of new things with this model that I did not do with my first one. Like, I didn't actually make the chin move up and down when I speak. Like, you could see it. Like, my chin doesn't move. Technically, your chin does wiggle up and down when you speak, usually. When you delete the deformer and replace it with a new one, will that get rid of all of the parameters you added to it? Yes. You will have to make sure that you set parameters, again, for any new warp deformer that you make. Alrighty. So, I'm gonna get the shading all on one layer, I think. Face shading warp. The chin moving, that's a good point. I didn't think of that either. Yeah, I didn't think of it when I did my first model either. I was not thinking about chin movements. I wasn't thinking about teeth moving. I was just thinking about how to wiggle my hair back and forth, if my ears could wiggle. Stuff like that. Yeah. But, yeah, the chin movements is a good one to think about. For now, I'm gonna make the brows each one warp deformer. I am gonna make them their own deformers when I actually get into rigging up the brows, but I just want them in one deformer so that I can find them both.
Hey, Miss Streamer, can you give me an ooh-woo voice?
No, brow warp, not deformer. Hold on. Great. Alright.
Ooh, 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 Sariko. How you doing today, Sariko? Ooh.
Thank you, sorry I'm asking so many questions. No problem. That is totally what these streams are for. Like, asking questions and like getting some ideas from somebody who has already rigged at least one model. I've rigged two whole model. And I've made many mistakes along the way, and hopefully I can help people not make some of the same mistakes that I made. Some very strange words from the voice of the slime bunny. Huh? What? Alright, so my head, I just want to be its own deformer right now. Head warp. Do you have any upgrades in the future? This is my upgrade. This is gonna be my upgrade. This is gonna have a lot of new things that I did not do with my first model. So this is definitely going to be my main upgrade. I don't think you realized how cursed this is. It's fine. Are those meshes a preset or did you do them manually? I did the presets for now. Usually I go back through on like the mouth pieces and the eye pieces and I change them a little bit, or I divide them. Can I like give an example of that? I don't think I can right now because I don't have the pop-ups enabled. When I get into the mouth stuff, I will definitely like show a bit of an example of how I end up dividing the meshes. Which basically just adds, it like takes the amount of points that there are right now and like divides them by 4 and adds like however many extra points that is, or some stuff like that. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I actually go through and I remesh things that just aren't shaped the way that I want them to. You can just use the presets though. Like, it'll still move pretty well. It'll still move pretty well if you just use the presets. For most of my pieces, I just used presets. So don't worry about using standard, heavy, etc. When you're doing hair pieces, eye pieces, anything on the face area, you're probably gonna want heavy deformation. But anything that's just gonna be like, you don't want to change the shape too much, you just want to move it out or in, like my arms, you could just use standard. That's fine. You don't need like a huge amount of deformation on it. Millie should do a video, how to be a VTuber professional. Has some kind of plugin? I don't think Live2d has any plugins, really. Not that I know about. It's just kind of in the default program for it. For some reason, my heavy deform preset is missing. Is that only in the Pro edition? It might be. It very well might be. Unfortunately, all of this stuff is done in Pro. I don't know as much about free stuff as the Pro stuff. Unfortunately. Alright, mouth warp, nose warp. Okay. So, my collar, I want to be one piece. Kinda like that. The booba movements. We get there eventually. Yeah, I was on the free 40-day trial. I'll probably upgrade soon, but yeah, just practicing. Just practicing is totally fine. I do prefer the pro version for most things, but I think if you're just practicing for now, before you get back into doing like a full model, totally fine to use free. Okay, deformer for this. I'm gonna make it collar warp. How much for a grandpa voice, Redeem? What are you talking about, Sonny? I'm not a grandpa. Booba is advanced physics. Yes, it is. Will it be more bouncy? It'll probably be about the same as it currently is. I think this is pretty realistic. I think the jiggle that I've got going on is pretty realistic as is. It's not too much. It's not too distracting. Alright, the neck. I'm gonna include the, like, shading on the neck. What was that? What was what? What was what? It's fine. That's fine. Shh. Nothing happened. Neck warp. I think you were like half of or 25% of the reason why Millie is so professional. True. True though. Will it be more pog? More pog. Which part? You mean my face? Mask. Mask. I want to... Let's see, where is the actual shoulder piece? Is it this? Yes. Okay. So I want all of this to just be my top warp. Top warp? Cool. I'm going to make my ponytail a warp. Let's see. Ponytail warp. Create. My back headpiece is probably just gonna be on its own, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make back head warp. I'm so sorry you can't see the pop-ups that I have though. My bow is gonna be its own thing. Go ahead and turn that on so you can see it for a second. Head bow warp. A wedding alpaca? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Okay, hide the head bow again for now. No more crown, I guess. No, now I'm saying that I transform via this strawberry here. Or like the strawberry on my neck, something like that. No crown this time. I can actually take off my hat in this one too, because I'm gonna be able to like remove the headband and then remove the bow if I want to. Everyone paying attention on the booba while you're thinking that we were singing the gameplay. Oh my god. Please. Alright, I'm gonna do my left ear in a warp. Left ear warp. And right ear warp. Right ear warp. My ears are gonna be real interesting this time around because I want them to, you know, usually when alpacas have their ears down, they're like down and also back against their head. I just made them stick straight out when I made them the first time. So I need them to go back more. The hair design looks like she has short hair. Don't worry, the ponytail is gonna wiggle back and forth, so it's gonna be like... Maybe not like that. Hold on. It's gonna like rotate and wiggle and stuff. It'll be like sway this way and then like sway this way. You know? We'll get there. We'll get there someday. No more crown because someone ate it. I know. People kept eating my crown, so I had to get something else. I had to get something else. All my marshmallows I'm gonna put in a deformer. Later on, they will probably be on their own deformers. But marshmallow warp. Yoinks off hair. Yeah, you know, it's fine. I didn't need that hair anyways, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm gonna make the whole apron, including the shading, its own warp. Do people eat your crown? Is it delicious or something? They try to! They try to eat my crown a lot! Help me, numbers, please! Ooh! Apron. Warp. Ears back. While this can mean an alpaca is frightened or angry, most of the time they are relaxed. Unlike a horse or dog that many of us are familiar with, indicating you should back away from the animal, more often than not, the alpaca is just repositioning its ears to hear. Yeah! So that's why my ears are down most of the time, and then like when I get excited, I'm like, oh, gasp! My ears go up. Because most of the time I'm just chill. Just relaxing. Having a good time. You know? Or when I get shocked. Yeah. So I need them to go back along my head a little bit more. That's gonna be really complicated. We'll see how I do with it. We'll see if I can actually make it that way or if they're just gonna be flat against the side of my head again. We'll see. Oh, I actually missed the shading. With this. I got the top shading, but not the bottom shading. What parameters do you set to kimono mimi ears? I usually make my own alpaca ear sort of parameters. And then I hook them up to my emotions. So anytime I do one of my emotion toggles, my ears might go up. Or like, maybe I'll have like one ear go up. Maybe I'll smug and stuff. Stuff like that. When will you start using this model? As soon as I'm done rigging it. As soon as I'm done rigging it, I'm gonna do like a little debut thing for it and start using it like all the time because it's gonna be a total upgrade from this model, honestly. Why do we abandon Skype for Zoom again? Good question. I've never touched Zoom in my entire life. Discord is best. Alright, apron warp. Now that I actually have the shading properly. This is the corset. So I want this to be corset warp. Clever. I think some set the eyebrow parameters to make the ears to make them wiggle or similar to. Yeah, some people set their ears actually to their blinks. So whenever they blink, their ears will twitch a little bit. It really just depends on what you want to go with. Because some people can be like cats. Cats with their tiny ear twitch if like your eyes close. Kind of cute. Kind of works. For me, I just want to be able to raise or lower my ears whenever I actually want them to go up or down. If you wonder why we try to eat your crown, have you ever had a kid's ice cream that is like this decorated scoop with a waffle hat and some fruit eyes? What would you eat first? Oh no. Please. Please. You use Discord for your meetings? Heck yeah. Oh, I never use Ventrilo either, actually. That's another one. I never really touched that one for some weird reason. My skirt warp is actually going to include my marshmallow warp. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that and make skirt warp. Warpo. Skirt warp. Create. That has my marshmallows in it. That's my skirt. Then I do my right arm. Right arm warp. Use Google Classroom. Google Classroom. That's a thing now? Jeez. Sheesh, Google, you're getting everything, aren't you? Left arm warp. There we go. Create. And then, of course, we have my legs. Millie's keyboard goes clickety-clack-clack. Yes! I got myself a mechanical keyboard recently. It's a Velocifier. I can't remember the actual numbers and stuff for it, but it is a Velocifier. It's like a cheap baby's first mechanical keyboard. It's brown switch. So it's a little bit clacky, but it's not like a ton. But I really like it so far. I've never actually had a mechanical keyboard before. It's like my first one ever. Right, this would be the left leg warp. And this one would be the right leg warp. Mechanical seems pretty manual. Right leg warp. Create. Alright, so now we have just this big list of different warps in here. Next thing is I want to make my head pieces all into one warp so that I can tilt my head side by side and it'll move the whole thing. So, I don't know if I want my ponytail in that. I don't think I do, right? I don't think I would want my ponytail to move with, like... Yeah, probably not. Probably not. So you separate the shading and flats, huh? Okay, I need to do that. Yes. So I separate the shading for anything that is going to wiggle. I keep shading like say this chocolate shading here, that's just attached to the layer because I don't plan to have the chocolate wiggling back and forth. I did think about it, but I was like, nah. But so like the apron is going to move, so I want the shading for that to be separated. Same with the booba, and same with the face shading. Because each one of those pieces I want to clip into something like the head base, I want to have the shading on it. Or like the skirt, I want to have the shading on it. But I don't want to clip the main piece, the main object. I don't want to clip the apron. I just want to clip the shades. Yeah, so I keep that stuff separate. On like my arms here, that's just attached. My neck shading is separate. Is there anything else? That's attached. There's some pieces that are attached, some people that aren't. Typing aggressively on the keyboard is loud. Gabby, Hannah, oh no. Listen, I'm sorry that my keyboard is clacky, alright? I'm sorry. Will next Millie have a mohawk? No! Why would I have a mohawk? Why would I ever do a mohawk? Oh, also a little thing that I did with both this model and like my current one. For my brows, I actually made this front bang bit, all of these pieces have some opacity to them. So like if I pull one of these out, you can see that it's like weirdly transparent down at the bottom. That's so you can see my brows underneath the pieces. Because usually, for me at least, making it opaque doesn't do that much to it because I have very light colored hair. If you have darker hair, it might not work as well. But having light hair like that kind of works. Yeah, they're not on top. You could do eyebrows on top too, but I like doing it this way. Yeah. Yep. Why would you do that? So you can actually see my eyebrows like moving up and down and stuff, right? So like you can see if I make like this expression or like wait, which is it? Not that. Oh yeah, I guess that one too. When I cry, my eyebrows go down like this. Oh, I'm sad. Or when I look disgusted, they're like, ugh, what are you doing? One goes up and one goes down. Yeah. I want you to be able to see that stuff too, because it makes it a little bit cooler. But the only scenario would be the eyebrow raising up and down. Taunt. Oh. I can't. I'm bad at wiggling my... Wiggling my eyebrows weirdly makes my eyes open up and down. Open up and close too. Remember that last look well? Yeah, you should. You should. You have something for me after the stream. In the meantime, I'll be watching it. Oh, you do? You do? How long do you usually take to rig? It took me 2.5 weeks to rig the first model that I did. Which is this one that I have right now. The one that I'm moving around with. My second model, I rigged overnight. Because my second model, hold on, let me just pull it up really quickly. This is gonna be weird. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's totally fine. This one. Woo. There we go. This was my second model. I drew this model and rigged it in 3 days. So I rigged this one overnight. There's like few problems with it. Like when I blush, my blush actually like doesn't follow my cheeks properly. I'm not blushing right now, but I don't want to show you. I don't want to show off my flaws. Yeah, it's chibi version. Yeah. 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 But I think this one came out pretty well too. It still is very wiggly, and I enjoy it. But yeah, I rigged this one overnight. I didn't sleep. Is it an auto blush? It is not. It's just it's like I toggle it on and off. Wait, do I have Angie? Where's my blush? There's my ears down. Ah, there it is. So this side works fine. Then there's this side. Then it's like, nah. I planned to fix it, but I was like, I'm gonna make myself a new model anyways for Millipaka, so I might as well at least put more effort in the next time. So yeah, that was my Millipaka model that I rigged. I rigged and made that in 3 days. 3 hecka days. Oh, don't look at my thighs. Don't look at my thighs, man. Man. Myself into place again. There we go. Ha. 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 Millipaka is S tier. I do really like it. Let's go one more day until E3. Oh, soon. I might actually do like a stream before my stream on Twitch, maybe, of me like watching the wholesome wholesome games. I don't showcase, I guess.
You tsundere.
A wholesome games showcase, cause that sounds so cute. Oh, I really want those wholesome games in my life. Ugh. Also, no, I'm not tsundere. It's not, chat. It's not like I enjoy spending time with you here like this. It's not like I want to stream more so that you can come hang out with me more. It's not like that. Baka chat! Baka chat! Humph. Humph. Wholesome Direct looks great, doesn't it? It looks so good! It looks so good. Alright. Back to making my warps. You know, like us or enjoy the time. Okay, I guess I'll return the return of Bing Bing Awakes. Oh god. Trying to rig my own model, and it's been a time. It has been. It's been a time for me too, I'm sure. Like, the first time I rigged a model was so complicated. Okay, so I need all of my face pieces, all of my face warps, my head warp, everything like that. And then I think my ears, my left ear warp, my right ear warp, my head bow warp. Do I want my ponytail warp in this? Maybe not. Probably not my ponytail. Yes, my back head. I need everything that is my main head. Barber summer outfit is cute. Oh my gosh, Barber summer outfit is so cute. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I need to get that so bad. Alright, this is my head warp. Main head warp. I already made head warp. Main head warp. Create. Now all of that stuff is under this, so I can like, technically, I could turn my head on and off now. I could just be. I actually gotta make some folders up here, I think, to fully turn it off. But now I could like, if I felt like it, I could be like. Oh. Huh? What did you say to me? What did you say? What did you say about my model? What? Huh? I couldn't hear you. How does you reduce opacity of just the bottoms of the bangs, or is it the whole bangs? I just put, I turned my eraser brush down, I turned the opacity of my eraser brush down, and I just swooped it across the bottom, basically. Made sure everything kind of matched. I need to go, but thank you for the tips. I will fix my art section first for the shadows, but thank you so much. Good luck with your stream. See you around, Feathery. That's sass. Huh? What? It looks amazing. I remember there only being pink. Yeah, it looks really good now, I think. I think it's good. Look, I have shiny shoes, too. Oh, my shiny shoes. Nobody's ever gonna see these shiny shoes, but I love them. Yes, I use the eraser tool. Yeah. And I just turned down the opacity or the density for my eraser and I just swooped it across the bottom basically. Alright, so that is my main head warp. Next, I'm gonna make my neck warp. My neck warp is probably gonna include the collar pieces. My full neck warp. Main neck warp, pretty much. Main neck warp. Like so. Okay. Next, the ponytail warp can stay on its own because I want that to swing back and forth, and I don't necessarily want it to hook up to the head. I'm gonna make my neck my neck warp! My neck warp, not work. Warp! Man! Alright, my top is probably fine how it is. That just has all of my like shoulder pieces, my booba, everything like that. Apron and corset and skirt I actually want to be one main piece because I want this to be the bottom dress sort of layer. And then I'm probably gonna make the apron and the skirt one piece so that I can wiggle like just my hips or something like that. Let me do that part first actually. Corset, skirt. Or not corset, or apron. Control to do over another layer. Skirt. Apron and skirt. Make a warp of this. Main skirt warp. Great. And then I want my corset and my main skirt to be the bottom dress warp. Create that. My arms and legs are all just gonna be separate. I'm sorry, but for some reason your presence instantly reminds me of the thumbs. My presence? My presence? Why? Why do I remind you of thumbs, man? Why me? Alright, so that has everything pretty much set out how I want it to be. That has the head on its own layer. The head has a lot of warps in it. That's got a lot of warps in there. Yeah, the thumbs from Spy Kids, the thumbs. I do love the thumbs. They're so silly. Man, Spy Kids was a great movie series. I miss Spy Kids. I miss a lot of things from like old Disney. I miss Spy Kids. I miss like... I love Halloween Town. Oh, it was one of my favorite movies. I watch it like every Halloween usually. Well, I did for a long time. I haven't the most recent Halloweens, I guess. Alright, main head warp. Main neck warp. My top warp includes the booba and stuff. My ponytail warp. My bottom dress warp, which has the corsets and the main skirt warp, which has the apron and the skirt, and the skirt piece has all the marshmallows in it. Gonna be a lot for that, but that's fine. Right arm warp, left leg warp, and right leg warp. So those are how I'm going to set up my warps for now. I might make some changes as I'm doing different pieces, but I'll explain them as I get to them. I know each one of these marshmallows is probably going to be on its own warp deformer, because that will be easier to wiggle them around and stuff. They'll probably be on rotation deformers, honestly. Same with the bows on my apron, the bow up here, and the bows on my headbands. Anything I want to wiggle like left and right and maybe have its own physics, I'm gonna put on a deformer. This bit up here, the top bang piece, is all one warp deformer. Let me go back into my main head warp. So I've got the top front bang warp, I have the right frame warp, and the left frame warp. I want them to be kind of separated, for at least the left and right pieces, so that I can swing them in opposite directions, because, you know, when I'm turning my head like this way, I want them to swing that way, stuff like that, you know? And then there's the brows, which will also end up being on their own warp deformers so that I can like change them around and stuff with art paths. Will the unmentionable area be rigged off stream just like the art stream because of trust issues? I don't know. I don't know. Technically, right? Technically I could just refer you, if you really want to learn booba rigging, to Kira Amori's latest tutorial on how to make your booba jiggle. You know, I technically don't have to do that on screen. We'll see if I decide to or not. We will see, but chat got real out of hand the last time I did anything mentioning my booba on screen, and this is supposed to be PG-13. So we'll find out. Alright, so that is how everything is going to be set up for right now. So, next thing that I am going to do is, I'm gonna have to pull up a new window capture just to show you this. Edit Texture Atlas up here. So the Texture Atlas is the main thing that has all of your mesh pieces inside of it. What's wrong with Boba Tea? Nothing. Oh, hold on, let me save. Saving my progress. Alright, so let me open up the Texture Atlas. I make mine very big. This model is like 4,000 pixels. I'm gonna go 4,096 by 4,096 because I'm also gonna have to add in expressions and stuff later on. I don't worry about naming it usually, it's just named Texture Atlas 1, and I will pull up the actual pop-up that comes up from this on screen so that you can see it. Is this big enough? Is this big? This might not be big enough. I might actually have to go larger than this. Cancel that. Let me make a bigger Texture Atlas. Like a, like 8,000, I guess. 8,192 by 8,192. I might as well go big or go home. Should watch that video to educate. Oh my gosh, Skippity. Skippity, please. Alright, that'll do better. Let me pull up this window in a screen capture for you guys. Where is like window capture? There we go. Window capture. Okay. There we are. So this is the pop-up that comes up. Just gonna move it in front of the screen like this. This is the pop-up that comes up for your Texture Atlas. Oh, let me put it behind. Putting it behind my hand isn't probably gonna make a difference for this. It's education. Sure. I'm confused about the difference between atlas size and export resolution. So, you make your atlas bigger, mostly if your textures are bigger. So my main textures, my main size for my model is hold on. My main size for my model textures, it's 4,000 width by 5,500 height. So it's pretty big. It's a pretty big model. So I'm mostly trying to make sure that I fit all of my textures into the atlas without losing any of the texture quality for them. When you first load up the Texture Atlas window, it will auto-place your textures on here. And they could be in good spots, or they could like completely forget a texture. Like they did not even put the bow that I have onto the Texture Atlas. Pro tip, if a small texture is lost in the vast section of the atlas, you got a stray pixel on that layer somewhere. Yeah. Yep. So when you go through the Texture Atlas, you have to make sure that nothing is overlapping. If anything is overlapping, like let's say, just as an example, right? I take my foot and I put it on top of my arm like this, or I'm gonna put it up here. I take my foot and I put it on top of my arm. All right, and I press OK. That's a fine Texture Atlas. This is completely fine, just how I want it to be. Right? Just an example. I'm gonna move it. I promise. It's generating. It takes a long time right now because I have a very large texture atlas. If you have a smaller one, it won't take as long to load. But it is making sure that it has every single image where it needs to be and making sure the textures look good. So hold on, let it generate. Alright, so as you can see, this is what happens if a texture overlays on top of another texture. It just appears there. Like it's kind of weird down here too, but it's kind of still like identifiable at least. But like up top, that's what that looks like now. So you have to make sure that nothing is touching, otherwise you end up with that going on. Or like if you just lost your eyebrow somewhere, it's probably like on a line on some of your other textures or something. My foot is now my arm. Congratulations me. Alright, let me open back up my texture atlas. Let me go ahead and fix that. You can fix it at any time as long as you press edit texture atlas, and then you can just move it wherever you need it to go. And then if you press OK, it's gonna go through and load everything again. I still have to go through and check this, but I'm just giving you an example before I actually check all of my textures. Just gonna load that up. Do you have an opinion on Dynamite from Spy Kids? I love Spy Kids, no matter who. I don't care. Like, any of the characters are good. All of them are good. Spy Kids was just such a good movie. I just loved everybody and everything. Yeah, alright, so load, because so big, so many texture. Alright, and then, as soon as it loads in properly, there we go. As you can see, my arm is back to normal. And down here, my foot is back to normal. Even the uncle, I even like villain characters, as long as they're done right. You know? I even like villain characters. All of them were fun. Even the weird ones were just fun. They were fun and entertaining. Might want to search that up before responding so blindly. No, I loved the movies, so I don't necessarily like sit there and go, oh well, I didn't like this character because this and that and the other, right? But just like I enjoyed the movie so much that everything was fun. That's all I'm saying about it. For eyes shrinking when the eyes open, I attached the eyes open parameter to the eye textures themselves and made them smaller. Is that about how it's typically done? Hold on. Let me parse that again. Eyes shrinking when the eyes open. Oh, you mean like this? Like when you open your eyes and they're just like half open like this? Attached the eyes open parameter to the eye textures themselves and made them smaller. Yes, I think that's how I did it on mine. You mean like this piece and then you shrank it like this? That is how I did it when I made my model the first time around. This time around, now that they have made deformers a little bit better, I'm probably gonna make a deformer of this piece and like deform that. When the eyes open all the way, they dilate a bit to look surprised. Oh. Attach the eyes open parameter to the eye textures themselves and made them smaller. Oh, you mean like this? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You attach it to the eyes open. You make it smaller whenever it opens up like that, and like bigger maybe when it closes. Yeah. That seems about right. Alright. The one thing that I did differently was I made, when I was doing my like something like this is on its own parameter for me, and it has like I can look around and stuff. I made a deformer for just the pupil pieces, just like the shine and pupil and all this, and I shrank the whole thing like this. And then it just followed my normal movements because it was already inside of a main deformer. I'll explain it better when I get to eyes, but Yeah, when I made my eyes like smaller like that, that's on its own parameter. That was the first thing I innovated on my own, so I was wondering if there wasn't a smarter way. You know, there could be a smarter way to do it. There might be, but that's how I did it too, so makes sense. Okay. Let me close up all of this, close up all of this, make sure that everything looks right. And then I'm gonna open back up my texture atlas and check, look through everything, make sure it's nice and separated. Nothing is touching any other pieces on here. Looks like it'll probably be good. I think they set it up pretty well when they did the auto on this one. I am going to be adding more pieces later on for my emotions, but we'll get there. Why do these look so small? Do they look that small in here? No, I think they're normal size there. Interesting, interesting, very interesting. Let me go ahead and do an automatic layout on this. See if this changes anything. It's progressing. Not an artist, so void filling was tough. Yeah, actually, I am going to be messing around with the glue when I do this model. There's like a glue feature. So you can attach, say, your arm with glue onto your shoulder piece. And then when you move it, it'll kind of stay attached, so you won't really see any voids. I don't know how it's gonna work. I am gonna be playing around with glue, but I think it'll be easier overall if I can figure it out for like void filling. Clicked on glue by mistake and not sure what it did. Yeah, I have not done it yet, but I've seen other people do it, and it looks really good when they do it, so. Why does this look so... I don't know. The textures is like so pixelated. I'm not sure what's going on in there. Huh. Weird texture things. Alright. Fine. When you're looking at this stuff, if the blue overlaps with the blue, that's not as big of a deal. You don't have to worry about that as much. So like there's this tiny little pixel of blue overlapping. Don't have to worry about that because there's nothing there. So even if it overlaps, nothing will show up there. Just in case you need extra space on your atlas, because I know the free version has like a limit. Gotta avoid the void. Yeah. Making sure everything looks good down at the bottom, in the middle here. Ooh, what? 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 I need to fix that mesh. Why did that auto that way? How weird. I think everything else on here is good. Alright, I'm gonna hit OK. Blue overlap is fine. Good to know. Yes, as long as it's just the blue. If there's no texture there, you're good. You're fine. I just wish I knew why this looked so pixelated. Maybe it's just how it shows up in the texture atlas and it'll look fine when I open the thing. What's that? The orange clip. Orange? Orange. This down here? That's my bow. Ah, there we go. It closed. Alright. Let me check. Yeah, these aren't pixelated. So that's strange. Very strange. Okay. So this thing up here, my ponytail seems to be misshapen a little bit. Let me hide my whole front of my head. And then I want to hide this piece of the back of my head so that I can see, oh, maybe my ears too. There we go. This here. Yeah, that's little bits that was orange was because that part was not meshed correctly. So I'm gonna do a not a warp deform. I'm gonna do a new auto mesh on that. Let me go deformation heavy. Nope. That did something weird. Deformation heavy. Nope. I don't know why it keeps doing this mesh is opened thing. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. That's good. Heavy. There we are. There we go. Now my full ponytail is there. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, you have to make sure that every part of your mesh is actually filled in correctly. Yeah, if it does that thing where it just disappears, I just redo it again. Oh, you can see my thing up there, but now it's very strange. I'm just gonna hide that. Turn back on that. On the head base, the ears. I don't need the head bow on right now. That should be good. Now I have to go back into the atlas again. Texture atlas. Turn on the window capture for that. Properties. Nope. Well, it's not gonna show up this time, I don't think. I'm just gonna remove that because it's a little glitched out, but I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going back over and I'm making sure that the head texture is good. It looks good. Everything else seems like it is properly meshed. Everything else seems like it's fine. I might find inconsistencies later, but if I do, I can fix them then. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and press OK on that. And it's gonna build my texture atlas back out again. For head Millie. For head Millie. Are you a messy person? Not usually. I try to be pretty clean. I get messy if I'm sad. If I'm sad, I get a little messy. Just go, oh, and then I don't want to clean anything. But like usually I clean stuff up as best I can. Okay, all good. Everything seems good. Oh dear. Oh, Live2d lagged a little bit there. I'm gonna save my progress. Saving a lot, okay. And that seems about right. So, parameters now. When you begin Live2d and you first put your model in, it will auto-build all of these different parameters for you. I don't use all of these. Usually I go back through and I rebuild my parameters by myself. Putting on knights. Like knights in shining armor. You know, they're fine. They're okay. Hold on, let me open up a Live2d parameter list. Here we go. Standard parameter list. Oh. Steve! Steve! Steve, why? Hold on. I have to look at coffee now. Oh. I heard you're sad. I got you. Steve, I'm not sad. Oh. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh. Alright, so, parameter list. So, I usually use, when I do my parameter making, I usually use the Live2d doc. I'm going to stick it in the chat for people to take a look at if they're interested. This gives you a little bit of a description of what each of the parameters does. It gives you a minimum and maximum value, which is going to be important. And it gives you an ID to use as like a baseline. If you're using FaceRig or PRPR Live, the IDs might be a little bit off. When I made this model, I used FaceRig parameters. You can Google FaceRig parameters, and they have a doc set up that has all of the different parameters that they support, and the IDs that you're supposed to use for those. For just normal Live2d stuff, just for like VTube Studio, at least, I just use this doc, and it seems to work fine. It seems to be able to recognize everything fine. Yeah, I made this model at first for FaceRig because I bought FaceRig first. It was my first program that I had for Live2d stuff. I don't know if Animaze is any different, by the way. This is just like FaceRig itself has its own doc with parameter IDs that you might need to use. So anyways, so you have all of these different parameters here that the program starts with. I usually end up deleting some of these things and just remaking them again. But I'm gonna keep some of them, like the angle X, angle Y, stuff like that this time around, because I don't think I'm gonna need different IDs or values. I think they've set up everything how I want it to be. I don't normally do breath. I don't think I'm going to end up doing a breath motion for this model either. You can if you want to. Breathing isn't that hard. It's just like basically move everything up a little bit and then you move back down a little bit. On one side it's up, other side it's down. There are tutorials on YouTube for breathing physics and stuff. I think Dream... Oh, what is her name? Dream... Hold on. Hold on, I will find it. I'll find it. Dreamtrove did a very good tutorial on breathing physics for like a little jelly boy that she made. So that one is, if you want to do breathing physics, I would go for that. I know people attach body movement to face movement, like in Kira's first tutorial, because FaceRig doesn't do body tracking. Yes, I did that with my model. I attached some body movement to my face movement. So like if I move my head left and right, it moves my body. Yeah, Dreamtrove does have a bunch of good ones. Dreamtrove taught me how to do physics the first time around. Does it help make smoother movements, or should you just do body parameters for other programs? So in VTube Studio, they have parameter things set up. So if you actually move your body, it does pay attention to that. You can set it up to follow your head movements. Like with my alpaca model. Actually, let me just pull it back up again. Let me pull up my alpaca model again. Da-da-da, alpaca Millie. So with my alpaca model, I attached a lot of my movements to my head movements. So when I lift my head up, my arms move up with me, so that I can like do this. Ah. So if you want to attach body parameters to your head movements, it'll probably be a little bit easier to like move around and stuff. Just because it's easier to nod your head and have your body move than it is to actually move your body around. It's just a little bit easier, just a tiny bit. Flap, 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 yes. Flap. Don't look at my thighs, don't look, don't look. Don't look. You saw nothing. I'm back. Must eat the small sugar person. No, don't eat me. No, no, I refuse. But yeah, they do have body X, Y, Z sort of stuff on VTube Studio already. So you don't have to worry about hooking it up to your head movements if you don't want to. If you do want to, you can make it move however you want to actually have it wiggle with your head. Would anybody having body movement on both head and body, or would having body movement on both head and body cause problems, or yes and no. If you do that, you're probably going to have to go through and fix each one of the parameter points on your, like, on both of the head movements and the body movements. But you can do it. It's just going to take a lot of extra, like, fiddling and work with the parameters. Body XY is how models like Clue and Artemis wiggle their shoulders about. Yeah, there's, that's this. So VTube Studio actually has an option. When you have your body movements detached from your head movements, you can actually invert the positioning. So you can make it so that your Body adventure. Hold on, wait. Let me move my VTube Studio further out in the screen. Ta-da! Alright, so if I open up my settings, don't mind my weird head, this is fine. If I open up my settings and I go into the movement config, there's all these different parameters in here. Wait, let me move this out slightly more. There's all these different parameters in VTube Studio, right? So you can go down to wherever your body is. Mouth open, brow height, eye open. Is it this one? Body rotation Z? I believe so. I believe so. So usually if you're your body rotation, you would have, I don't have to worry about the smoothing right now. You would usually have it say positive 10 on the top of the max output and negative 10 on the max of the bottom. So if you flip it, that's when you do the head wiggle thing. So I'm just, oh, don't mind me. So this is how my model would normally move. This is how it would normally wiggle around with body Z. And then if I flip it to negative 10 on top and positive 10 on bottom, that's when I do the cute little shoulder thing. Like that. Ta-da! Ta-da! Alright, I'm moving myself back off screen. Whoosh! And then I need to close that menu up. There we go. Back to normal again. Alrighty. So if you want to do the cute little head bob, that is how you would do it. You would just invert your body Z settings in VTube Studio. I think you could do the same thing in PRPR Live, but PRPR Live has some extra steps to make sure your movements work correctly. If you take a look at Catertier, I think her name is. Catertier? Catertier channel. She has PRPR Live tutorials specifically. She has how to load models in, how to do expressions for them, etc., etc. I would definitely take a look at some of her stuff if you're using PRPR Live. And I don't actually know as much about the app version of VTube Studio, to be fair, but I think it works the same. I think it's still just invert your head movements, and that works fine. Thanks so much for answering so many questions. Of course! Of course, of course. Alright, so that is that stuff. The last thing that I need to do is make sure that my parameters are right? So I don't use breath. I'm just gonna go ahead and trash that. Body X and Y, I think? No. Yeah, body X and Y are your, like, lean in and lean out movements. If you're using VTube Studio, you don't actually need body X and body Y because VTube Studio has a way to make you lean in and out if you really want to. I turned it off on my model because I don't really want to lean in and out right now, but you could just turn it on in the settings. So I don't need body X and Y either. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete those. I just need Z, which is just the left and right stuff. Cheek? I can't use yet. I'm pretty sure that is, I don't know if that's like making your cheeks puffier or if that's like moving left and right with your mouth. That is a new feature that they just added into the iPhone version of VTube Studio. The mouth wiggle back and forth, kind of like Snuffy does with her 3D model, or like how, well, any of the Art Guns models do, really. Or any of Fofamit's models. Mouth wiggling back and forth stuff. It can only happen with an iPhone with advanced face tracking software. I use a webcam, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna be like, nah, I'll do cheek stuff later. Isn't that for blushes and etc.? It could be. But I usually do blushes also as an emotion, so I don't need that either. Do you know what the mouth, the eye smile parameter is for? Yes, I do. The eye smile parameter is for, maybe you want, when you're doing your eyes, you want to blink, but you don't want it to be in this like smiley face sort of pattern. So you make your blink like this, right? But then you're like, but what happens if I smile? Well, you might want to like, might want to make it go up. So that's pretty much what the eye smile parameter is for. It makes, when you smile, your eye actually goes up like that. Alright. Or it just makes a different shape, really. I've been playing with that on my phone. Yeah, you have? They actually fixed the phone trial for VTube Studio also. They actually made it so that you can, like, do it for more than a minute. I think it's like 5 minutes now, finally. Oh. What specific phone and model is used for VTubing? I do not know about phones with VTubing. I only use a webcam currently. But I know I've heard like iPhone X, I think. It's anything with their more advanced face tracking stuff. So if you go and you like Google, you know, iPhone advanced face tracking, it'll probably show you what you need. What you need to get for the actual tracking stuff. Wow, amazing. Thanks. Alright, eyeball X and eyeball Y is like your up and down movement and your left and right movement. Gonna need that stuff. Brow Y and X is your up and down movement and also left and right movement. I don't really understand like left and right movement for brows. I usually delete that one. We'll get to that later though, I think. Angle and your parameters. Your brow angle is just if it's turned wait, where's my brows? Where are my brow pieces? Brows? Brow warp? Under brow warp? So the angle is just if it goes like this or like this. That's angle. Form is what you actually need to use to like shape it to be more like that instead, right? So that's what angle and form are. And that follows your head parameters a little bit too. Do you put all those parameters on one deformer or do you use a few parents and children for the eyebrows? I tend to use parents and children because I want to do, like, if I want to have it rotated a certain way and then I want the form to change. Like, say I want to do... Hello? Hello, am I back? My OBS disconnected.
Hello? Woo-woo?
Oh dear, I'm a little bit laggy too. Yes, alright. Alright, anyways, so if you want to, say, make your eye do this form, but you also want it to, like, rotate a little like that, you need to have it on different deformers with, like, parents and children. Or like this. Stuff like that is important to do different emotions. Okay, and then that's the brow angles. Not Windows sound though, I know. I'm sorry. I hope I wasn't too loud. Probably was pretty loud. Alright, then we have mouth open. Obviously this is just making it going ah. Right? And then the form is actually the shape of when you have it open and closed. You kind of combine these two parameters to make like one big, you hit this button here and it makes one big grid for you. And I usually have like a whole bunch of different parameter points in that grid, but we haven't gotten there yet. We don't need a link yet. Next time I'm getting a rig ready model that make life so much easier. Yeah, rig ready models a lot easier to work with than anything else. And then I usually make my own physics parameters, so I'm not gonna need these hair move front, hair move side, hair move back things. I'm just gonna make my own when I get to making the hair. So, that should be about it. These parameters are gonna be hooked up, the angle X and Y. The Z is gonna be on its own. Open and smile are gonna be on their own. The eyeball X and Y are gonna be hooked up. The mouth open and mouth form are gonna be hooked up. We'll get there when I actually start making parameters for stuff and like moving things around, which will be the next stream. But this is just like the basic setup stuff. So next I make folders for everything. I usually make a folder that's named like, hold on, delete that. Oh, how do I set the name actually? Oh, there we go. Body. That usually has my angle X and Y in it. Angle X, move up into the body. And my angle Y into there. And of course angle Z too. That has body stuff in it. Next I do my eyes. Eyes. That has eye open. And smile parameters. I usually just stack them, like open stacked and then smile stacked. I didn't do eye smile when I did this model, so like I don't actually have, when I'm happy I still just look like this, right? On this model I'm gonna make it have like an actual happy face and sad face and stuff. And then that also includes the eyeball X and Y. Usually put that on top just so I can get to it easiest. My brows, I make their own folder. So much, yeah, there's so many different things for this stuff. So there's brow L and brow L, brow R, brow R. I'm probably gonna delete the ones that go left and right. Probably not gonna need anything. Are your pupils different? Yeah, the pupils are different pieces, but they're still gonna be hooked up to the eye parameters. I might have a pupil dilating parameter in here, but actually it'll probably be in my emotions folder when I get to that. So my brows, shove those, my brow angles rather, shove my brow angles into here too. And my brow form. I have to make sure that everything is kind of in the right place, hold on. Brow left, all right. Brow left. I'm gonna do brow left form, brow left angle, brow left Y, brow left X. Probably gonna delete stuff later. Brow R form, brow R angle, brow R Y, brow R X. Cool. Brows. The folders in the parameter window are just for organization, right? Like they don't affect the function at all. Yes, it's just for organization purposes. It's just to make sure that you have everything neat and tidy and you can close stuff up whenever you need to. Body Z, of course, goes into the actual body parameter. And then there is the mouth parameter, or not parameter, folder. Mouth folder. Mouth. Mouth. There we go. I will miss your current model. I might still bring it back sometimes, like a cameo, but I do want to make a lot of upgrades with this model, you know? I want to move forward, have some new things, new functions. And then, of course, there won't be anything in this right now, but I'm going to have my emotions folder. My emotions, I'm going to have a whole bunch. I'm not going to set up the parameters for them right now because I'm probably just going to do a whole emotion stream. Because emotions are one of the easier things for me to do. So I can just do that all in one sitting pretty much. And that is the main setup for my model. I have, if I go back over all of my different deformers again, I have a lot. I have my main head warp, which is actually just the head itself. The ponytail is separated so that I can wiggle it back and forth. Under the head warp is my headband, my front hair, which includes all of my bangs, my brows, my left and right eye, which I'm probably gonna make a whole face warp too, actually, now that I'm looking at this. Which should be everything, including the face shading. And then turn this into face warp. So you can move the whole face left and right when you need to. Why is that? Oh, never mind. I know why that's like that. Never mind. It's this face shading again. Oh, yeah, actually. undo that. Maybe I don't want the face shading. Just do that. Just the face. Just the face. Face warp. Create. There we go. That is all the face shapes inside of it. The brows, the eyes, the mouth, everything. Then I have the face shading warp, which is gonna be on its own because it's weirdly shaped. The head warp, which includes all of my headlines and my blush and color. The head bow, which you can't see right now, but looks like that, because I'm gonna change my hat. My ears are each on their own warps, so that I can kind of like move them independently. I can move one up, one down. And then there's the back of my head, which has this piece for when I look left and right. Then there's my neck warp, which is separate, my top warp, my ponytail warp on the bottom of my dress, which has like my corset and my skirt, my arms, and my legs. And those are all the pieces. I know! It's a lot of stuff! I'm probably gonna end up making like a body warp and some other things as I rig, because it's just gonna be easier to move stuff around, but this is basically how it is set up. God, there's so many folders up here too. There's so many layers on this thing. Oh my god. What a mess. Look at all this. There is so much to do, yeah. Eyes, brows, face, front hair, headbands. Closed everything up. Alright, and that is everything organized. So that is gonna be the setup stream. That's it for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Next time we can actually start moving stuff around. So let me go ahead and go back to my chatting screen for a second. Go to my afternoon chat screen. Ah, I'm here. Hi, I exist. So, yeah, you definitely have to organize it as much as you possibly can ahead of time, because otherwise you will spend so long trying to make sure that everything is in the right spaces. I still didn't get it quite as organized as I would have wanted it to be inside of my art program. Whew. It has ended with a bang. I'm glad you exist! Oh, thank you, Q. Thank you. Oh, that looks awesome. Thanks! When you realize your body has 1 million more cells than I know, right? It has so many extra cells in there. Jeez. Very saucy either way. Thanks. So that's just how to organize it. That's only the organizing part. I know. It's ridiculous. It's like kind of crazy that's not even like that's just the beginning. Oh. Alright, so I'm gonna be live with this again tomorrow. It's gonna be 2 hours later. It's gonna be at noon PST. And I'm gonna start doing head turns. Head turns, including like left, right, up, and down. And then of course the like diagonals, the corners. That'll include like moving the face around with it to make sure the head turns are right. But it won't include the hair. It'll just be the head pieces. So it'll look a little bit weird for hair for tomorrow. Thank you for the info, epic thumb. Why am I a thumb now, man? Gets faster every time you do it. Yes, it does. It does. It really does. You get used to it and you just start like going for it. How does one remove parameter keyframes from actual messes? Just remove and re-import? Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. I also just do the like I just reset the image on each one of the keyframes usually. Like I'm a slow girl. You already look cute, you don't need it. Yeah, I know, but I want it. Sage Dough? Is that how you say it? Sage Dough has a nice video about head, XY, etc. too. Yeah. Also, Kira Omori, I think put out a really nice tutorial for head movements along with like the mouth movements. I think I used hers mostly when I did mine the first time around. I did a ton of rigging. Millie, give yourself a pat on the back and some Starbucks. I don't know. I didn't even do the rigging yet, Steve. This is just the beginning. This is only the start. Just wait. Just wait, man. And also, I'm going to be, when I do my head turns, I'm gonna be going a lot farther than I currently can. I'm gonna be trying to turn almost like all the way to the side when I look left and right. We'll see how that goes. I might give up halfway through and just go with like this turning. We'll see. Ultra head turn, yeah. So like I can actually look this way instead of just like partially looking this direction. I'm excited to see some movement happen next time. Yeah. After you see everything like actually laid out, you see all the different pieces, like, oh my god, that's so much. But then you start seeing it moving, it's like, yeah. Are you gonna take your break now? Get some heckin' rest. I'm going to probably be taking a break next week. So I still have 2 more streams. I'm gonna do the head movements, and I'm going to be doing the eye blinks. And then I'm gonna take probably a week break to catch up on some other stuff, and then we'll go back to rigging again. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if there's anybody to raid right now. I'm gonna go see if there are people actually online that exist. Hit YouTube. Ooh, 5B is online again. Oh, she's drawn! Ooh, 5B is drawn! Ooh, that's perfect, actually. That's perfect. That's heckin' perfect for this. Gotta refresh that page again. Alright, so we're gonna go see 5B. How do you rate on YouTube? I'm just gonna post a link, and we're just gonna go there. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna chill for a little bit. You guys don't have to stick around if you don't want to, but, you know, it's always nice to give people a little bit of extra support. Alright, so we're just gonna go into her chat, and we're gonna say, Waffle Raid! Because I don't have a good raid message. Just say Waffle Raid. You can use some actual waffle emojis if you want to, but keep in mind that YouTube likes to hide messages with too many emojis in them. And this is the link. I'm gonna post it a few times in a row for people. We're gonna go head over and say hi to 5B. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I hope it was helpful. I'm glad that you think it was helpful, Iggy. I'll see you next time, which will be tomorrow. About this time, like a little 40 minutes earlier than about this time tomorrow. When I'm gonna start rigging tomorrow. Alright, see you! Bye-bye!